$5,000, you guys. The winner of this year's turkey trot gets $5,000 from Saudi Arabia.
Be sure to like and subscribe, guys. Yes, sir, Mr. President. I will make this town pay.
At ease, soldier. We heard there's a civilian uprising.
Yeah, we don't need Homeland Security's help. We got it.
Dude, where are we supposed to go?
South Park just pulled off one of the wildest moves in its entire history. They let Saudi Arabia buy their Thanksgiving. Suddenly, the whole town spirals into a battlefield of greed, panic, and straight-up political insanity. And the craziest part is how a simple turkey trot erupts into tear gas, tanks, race science, and a full-blown US military content war, all funded by the kingdom.
How is it that we haven't found one sponsor to help pay for this event?
South Park's just fallen on hard times, Mayor.
In this latest episode, Turkey Trot, South Park opens with a brutal reality. The town is so broke it can't find a single sponsor for its Thanksgiving race. Integrity Farms has collapsed. Randy is back in his old geologist clothes like nothing ever happened. Local businesses are suffocating under tariffs, and Mr. Mackey has literally been downgraded to a sleepy janitor who can't even keep his eyes open.
Integrity Farms used to be a sponsor of the Turkey Trot, but as you know, we've recently all lost integrity, so I'm afraid we just can't help.
It's not just poverty, it's a quiet, humiliating meltdown, and the show makes one thing painfully clear. South Park has become the kind of hollowed-out American town that ends up accepting money from anyone, including the people they once mocked.
It's the 28th annual South Park Turkey Trot, sponsored by Saudi Arabia.
And this is where the episode goes nuclear, because the moment South Park hits rock bottom, Saudi Arabia shows up waving cash like the town's new sugar daddy. The 28th annual Turkey Trot suddenly becomes the South Park Turkey Trot, sponsored by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, complete with glossy ads, restrictions on speech, and a $5,000 prize that instantly turns every resident into a desperate competitor.
And the first one across the finish line wins their team $5,000.
What should be a wholesome Thanksgiving tradition transforms into a polished piece of foreign PR, and the show doesn't even try to hide the message. When a community is broke enough, even the most controversial global powerhouse can buy its way into America's holidays, its culture, and its identity. No questions asked.
You want me on the racing team. I happen to be an expert in race science, you guys. I know a way to give our team an optimal winning advantage.
The moment that Saudi cash hits the table, Cartman flips a switch and unleashes one of the wildest, most unhinged schemes he's ever pulled: race science. He convinces the boys they don't need a big team. They just need the right teammate, Token, and he sells it with charts, analytics, and straight up racist pseudoscience, confidently declaring that Token's race always wins races, turning a kid's charity run into a twisted experiment in stereotypes.
I'm a racing science expert, okay? The data shows your race always wins races.
What makes it even crazier is how casually Cartman weaponizes data to justify his racism, showing exactly how people today hide old prejudices behind fake science, fake stats, and fake logic, all because a foreign kingdom dangled $5,000 in front of them.
What do you mean Token's not going to race? He said because it's being sponsored by Saudi Arabia, he's bowing out for political reasons.
But then the episode flips everything when Token refuses to run. Not because he's slow, not because he's scared, but because the race is sponsored by Saudi Arabia. It's the first moment of genuine morality in the entire town, and it hits Cartman like a punch to the face.
The guy said you're not gonna race because it's being sponsored by Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, just doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right.
Token doesn't want to be part of a PR stunt for a regime with a brutal human rights record, and suddenly the $5,000 prize feels a lot dirtier. While everyone else is blinded by desperation, Token becomes the one character who actually cares where the money comes from, and that tiny moral stand cracks the entire team apart.
I can't see the screen.
Token, you can't whine about a country trying to come into the 21st century. Them wanting to help pay for American things is good.
Cartman's reaction is pure chaos. He doesn't just disagree, he accuses Token of being racist, claims boycotting Saudi Arabia is backwards, and insists the kingdom is trying to join the 21st century. He even throws in the wildest arguments possible. If they're paying for races, they're not hacking up journalists or hunting gay people. It's South Park at its sharpest, showing how people twist morality, flip the blame, and defend foreign money with insane excuses the moment a check is involved.
The people of this town are starting an insurrection, but they will not stand in the way of us getting our man!
Meanwhile, the B-plot detonates into one of the craziest political parodies South Park has done in years, because the US Department of War rolls into South Park not as soldiers, but as content creators. Pete Hegseth's parody character films every operation like a YouTube vlog, shouting, "What's up, guys?" while tanks close in on a tiny police station holding their high-value prisoner, Peter Thiel.
You can hear the liberal terrorists all screaming and chanting behind us. We're gonna take them on. Just another day in the Department of War.
The whole unit is obsessed with angles, views, thumbnails, and engagement, treating an armed extraction like it's a sponsored live stream. Even Homeland Security shows up just to steal the content, not the mission, and the view counts stay embarrassingly low the entire time.
Do you want Saudi Arabia to just go back to cutting people up and paying Kevin Hart? Is that what you want? I can't see the screen.
It's a brutal and hilarious jab at America's new obsession with optics over action. South Park turns the US military into a bunch of clout chasers who care more about subscriber numbers than national security. And the contrast is ridiculous. Guns, tanks, tactical gear, all deployed for content. They posture like heroes, but the town ignores them. The live stream barely hits 1.2K viewers, and the whole spectacle becomes a perfect picture of a country where institutions now care more about going viral than doing their job.
Hold! Fire the tear gas! Yeah!
When race day begins, the turkey trot instantly collapses into chaos as the Department of War storms the streets with tanks, tear gas, and armored troops, all right in the middle of families trying to run a Thanksgiving 5K. The soldiers interpret normal runners as insurrectionists, fire gas into the crowd, and block off the entire route, forcing the racers to navigate the course like they're trapped inside a battlefield.
I can't say nothing. I think.
South Park pushes the insanity even further by mixing riot imagery, military hardware, and a children's fun run into one scene, creating a town where even Thanksgiving can be shut down by federal overreach and clueless government force.
Can you please just let me enjoy my Thanksgiving morning? Oh yeah, sure. Who cares about Utopia?
In the middle of the chaos, Cartman corners Token at home, and the whole conflict explodes. Cartman accusing him of ruining Thanksgiving, Token refusing to run for a regime he doesn't support, and both of them finally saying the quiet part out loud. Token makes it clear he won't be used as Cartman's race science weapon, and Cartman fires back with delusional logic about supporting progress and helping Saudi Arabia modernize. The argument ends with Token kicking him out and Cartman storming off in rage.
Yeah, just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. Yeah, doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right.
And this is where South Park hits its sharpest point. The friendship breaks not over sports, not over competition, but over the morality of taking foreign money, the exact fight happening across sports, comedy, and entertainment in the real world.
Yep, sounds good. Enjoy the holidays with your loved ones.
At the height of the chaos, Token shows up after all, and despite refusing to be Cartman's race science strategy, he outruns everyone and wins the entire turkey trot on his own. It's the exact outcome Cartman wanted, but delivered in the one way Cartman never expected. Without him, without manipulation, and without buying into Saudi Arabia's PR stunt. And the win instantly becomes awkward because the victory ceremony is fully branded by the kingdom, with South Park celebrating Token's first place finish under Saudi banners, Saudi logos, and Saudi money. The show lands the punch brutally. Even when you win, even when you do the right thing, the people funding the event still get the spotlight.
Turkey Trot Grand Prize goes to the team of South Park's very own Token Black.
Right after Token wins, South Park drops one of its sharpest meta jokes. The announcer proudly calls him Token Black, but the on-screen text spells his name as Tolkien, completely undermining the show's own Tolkien retcon from a past season. It's deliberate, it's messy, and it's South Park openly trolling everyone who took that retcon seriously. The moment is quick but brutal. The show basically admits the name change arc was a joke, the correction was a joke, and even the correction to the correction is a joke, proving South Park will even sabotage its own continuity if it means landing a better punchline.
Wraps it up. Let's get home and eat some turkey. You son of a... The president will come for us.
The episode ends with the Department of War completely failing to retrieve their high-value prisoner, Peter Thiel, leaving him locked in a tiny South Park jail while the president and Jade Vance rage in the background. The military leaves humiliated, the cops refuse to comply, and Pete Hex promises that the White House will make South Park pay for defying them. It's a tight, deliberate setup. Peter Thiel locked in a cell, a furious president, federal agencies embarrassed, and a town that just accepted Saudi money, all pointing straight toward a destructive showdown in the finale.
They helped sponsor this year's race?
How should the Asian Papa pay for Turkey Trot? We gotta pay tariff. We won't f***ing anybody.
Even with all the chaos, the episode quietly brings back classic South Park flavor. Randy in his old geologist clothes, Ned reappearing, Kenny's dad back in the mix, and a town event storyline straight out of the early seasons. It strips away the heavy lecturing tone of recent political arcs and brings back the goofy, fast-moving, joke-first style fans have been missing. The nostalgia isn't accidental. The show uses that old-school structure to hit modern targets like Saudi money, influencer militaries, tech billionaires, and racial politics, blending vintage South Park chaos with today's real-world insanity.
Of course, there is someone who'd be willing to give South Park a bunch of money.
Turkey Trot isn't just another chaotic South Park episode. It's the moment the show exposes how easily an American town can be bought, distracted, and militarized over absolutely nothing. A kid's race becomes a geopolitical ad campaign, the US military becomes a content machine, and the town celebrates Thanksgiving under a foreign kingdom's logo without even blinking. South Park is clearly signaling something bigger. The town is collapsing, outside powers are circling, federal agencies are gearing up for a confrontation, and the season is building toward a finale where all these forces, Saudi money, the president, the Department of War, and Peter Thiel, crash into each other at full speed.
Token Black.
We did it, dude!
Beneath the jokes, the tear gas, and the insanity, the episode quietly delivers a brutal message. Desperation makes people compromise anything, even their traditions, their morals, and their independence. South Park didn't just accept Saudi money, they welcomed it, celebrated it, and wrapped their entire Thanksgiving around it without a second thought. And by the time the race ends and the kingdom claims the spotlight, the show makes it painfully clear: when a society is broke enough, distracted enough, and divided enough, anyone with money can walk in, rewrite the rules, and own the culture, even if it's just through a turkey trot. And do you think South Park crossed a line with Saudi Arabia? Or is this exactly the kind of insanity the show was built for?